A lot of people have this dream, this fantasy of wanting to live, a simpler life up in the mountains, um, with a little less, more nature. But the reality is, it's not for everybody. Why did we move here back in 2020? Well, Laura, my wife, who unfortunately in 2022 died of cancer, she was looking for something else online and randomly ended up finding this house up in the mountains in central Switzerland. It's a chalet with the most beautiful 360-degree views of the country. Not today, unfortunately. It's quite cloudy, and I will not be able to show you a photo, but I will maybe add some little view in it. And we fell in love with the place straight away. So we thought, well, why not? But what is it that still keeps me here 5 years later? Why don't I move? I got asked this many times after Laura died. Are you still gonna stay there? And I'm like, well, it's literally the most beautiful place I've ever lived in. So why would I move? Like, it just makes no sense to me. Um, Before we signed the contract for this house, I remember Laura asking me, "Babe, are you sure you want to move there?" And I asked, "Yeah, like, why?" And then she said, "Because I wonder if you'll be okay when I die, living there by yourself." And I looked at her like, "What?" Um, she always knew that there would come. She knew it was going to be maximum 5 years from when she got cancer, and it ended up being 3.5. So she knew. Um, but I remember answering in the most genuine way and say, "Yeah, I would be absolutely okay in such a place." Um, and what's been extremely beautiful for me living here is, first of all, the contact with nature, the beauty of nature, but really that the contact, like you walk out, you're in nature, you're in the mountains, it's hiking trails, it's just this silence, it's quiet. You hear the birds in the morning, you hear nothing at night, you hear the occasional plane passing by, but the farmers doing their thing, but it's not this noise like the traffic you'd have in a city. And to me, this is one of the points where I'm like, I couldn't trade that for anything else in the world. By the way, I'm looking down because I have some notes. Otherwise, these videos always end up being 6 hours long, and I don't want to bother you too much. But nature, the pure beauty, the views, this place is just absolutely magical. I have some drone shots that maybe I can share with you. Um, and yeah, it's just very healing to be in a place like this. Um, the peace and quiet help me, sit back and think, consider my next steps in life. But at the same time, I'm just so grounded and able to enjoy this place. And I feel like I mentioned it in other videos, but like I will never stop mentioning it. Like, people don't live enough. They don't live enough this life. Um, we take it for granted. We we think we're immortal, or we just don't want to think that death's gonna come. But it is gonna come. Like, that's the one thing they say. There's two sure things in life: taxes and death. I know a few people that are really good at skipping the taxes part. Um, no one's gonna skip death. Like, nobody. So you may just live. And in one of my most recent videos, I said, you shouldn't be scared of dying. You should be scared of not living. That's the problem. So this place allows me to really live. I'm gardening when I can. I spend time outdoors. I just sit out in the garden. I sit out on the balcony. I sit here in the winter garden with Cleo, looking very cozy at the moment. And yeah, I it also brings you to another level as far as what society expects from you. You know, this social status, having to show off, having to show something. I couldn't care less about any of this. I just really love the simplicity. Yeah, it's my lifestyle. It's a laid back lifestyle. It's a simple lifestyle. And yeah, I'm now wearing it's called Slow Watch. I'll put a link just because it doesn't show, it's basically instead of being 12 hours, it's 24 hours. And it only shows you roughly what time it is. So I know what time it is roughly right now, but like I couldn't be exactly sure. And you think, why would you have that? Because I don't always need to be connected. I don't always need to have the exact time. So yeah, I do love technology. I have all possible devices anyone could ever imagine. I live up in the mountains, but I'm not so far from society. I drive a Tesla. And so it's like, I do enjoy technology. It doesn't mean I have to deprive myself from these things, but it also doesn't mean I shouldn't deprive myself from those things every now and then. And so living this simple lifestyle simply fits me and the person I am, which doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody. I just don't need anything more in life to be content. I'm genuinely happy with what I have, with where I live. And I mean, who wouldn't? You've got to be crazy not to enjoy a place like this. And I just feel so lucky. Like no matter what happened in my life, I just feel lucky and thankful. Like, of course, I lost Laura in a physical way, but she'll forever be with me. And I'm so happy I had her in my life and still have her. And I think people should focus more on the positive of things, not always on the negatives. And every day when I take the dogs for a walk, it doesn't matter where I am, but most of the time I'm here, I just walk around. And there's one thing that Laura and I always used to say to each other, and is, look at where we live today, my love. Look how lucky we are.